I just saw your hat past the window. So you got your face.
I'm not very tall.
We're going to see it. We're going to see
spotlight.
You just have to. I gave so I was going to Monday.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Excuse the late time, we're 5 minutes overdue, but we just had to wait for some, to make sure everyone was here, so we didn't lose anything. Dragons, what are they? Well, as we know from legend, dragons and wizards are always together, so I've got my ceremonial robes on today, just to bring us into the shape of the picture. But what are dragons? Everyone agree the universe is conscious?
Yes.
Yeah, we all recognise that. Okay, that's good. So, Mary Shelley, in her story on Dr. Frankenstein, one of the lines she said, electricity holds the secret of life. And we all know old Frankenstein was brought to life with electricity.
I think there was someone wondering if they could come in.
Okay, the question is, when a wizard opens the door, do you open it? Do you come in? They didn't want to come in then, yeah?
They had the yoga mats.
Yeah.
They're going somewhere.
They're going to go and find Buddha instead.
So, electricity runs through our bodies, isn't it? This is an image of our nervous system, the main nerves in our system, and all the neurons in our body creates, from chemicals, electricity. So we've got our own internal engine which creates electricity. And electricity creates the medium for our consciousness to exist. Although our consciousness, part of our consciousness exists outside, but the bulk of the engine that drives the consciousness is generated by our bodies. And the nerves in our bodies branch like twigs on a tree. So they keep branching and branching. So though that picture depicts the main nerves, actually every cell in our body is touched by a nerve. Because they twig down and they branch and they branch and they branch until they're one cell thick, and they weave and touch every cell in our body. We've got so many neurons in our bodies transferring electricity, transferring our consciousness, that really is, that picture really doesn't tell a story at all. Same in trees, actually. Trees have a line of parenchyma which threads its way through the tree and touches every cell in the tree's body. We tend to see pictures like this depicting our energy fields. This is, I've gathered a few pictures here. This one depicts the lower energy fields and the higher energy fields, but it's not really the whole truth at all, because every organ in our body creates its own energy field. Every cell creates its own energy field. And we're just a matrix of energy fields. The fields are usually this shape, electromagnetic fields. This depicts the heart field, the big one, which is what we were meditating on 2 days ago. The smaller one depicts the heart chakra field. The heart, which is the most powerful electromagnetic source in our bodies has a great field. It extends outwards and can extend outwards up to 15 metres on occasion. Although typically it's 5 or 6 feet for most people when we're in rest. Another energy field, another picture of an energy field. This is the outside of our energy field, from our heads, flowing through underneath and coming back into our feet, our root chakras. And all the other fields are within inside that. So our livers have an energy field shaped like that, our kidneys do, all our organs do, and of course all our cells also have an energy field, which are very tiny of course, and they all fit inside this big energy field. But our energy fields aren't lines as these drawings depict. They're in sleeves, like the earth. So you have sheaths. Think of Russian dolls. You have sheaths. All of those energy fields are complete. And because they're electrical and magnetic, they're usually at least 3 sheaths thick. Electrical field, and it creates a magnetic field either side of it, inside and outside. And the inner one is normally weaker than the outside one, which is stronger. This is the Earth, of course, and this depicts the, some call them, there's the Van Allen belts, there's 1 and 2, or lower and upper. But essentially, these are electromechanical fields, electromagnetic fields. Again, another picture. And we have electric, magnetic, and it goes in that sandwich type shape. Now, all consciousness is electrical, which is why the Earth is conscious. The Earth truly is conscious, and some of you may already communicate and commune with the Earth, but it is something, it's just a matter of acceptance, and then start saying hello. So the human is electromagnetic, the Earth is electromagnetic, and all consciousness is electromagnetic, as the universe is electromagnetic. Some more pictures. This is Jupiter. Again, this is, although this is a simulation, again it shows Jupiter with its electromagnetic fields. All the planets are conscious, and the 5 main planets, Venus, Earth, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter and Saturn, we're all connected electromagnetically. Please come in if you wish. Find a chair. This is a better depiction. This shows the electromagnetic field, similar to this, but we've also got, this one shows the dragons coming into the poles. So we've got the electromagnetic field of the Earth, for example, or the Sun. All planetary bodies, galactic bodies have this electromagnetic field, weaker or stronger, depending on variations. And the vast bulk of them have dragons coming in through the poles. This is a dragon. Now, this is a dragon coming in from space, coming from the sun. One of these. This is photographed in Alaska. Now, you might be able to see a slight rotation here. Dragons rotate. This is a better photograph. You can see a twist in there. Dragons, the bodies of dragons are tubular serpents. Generally, the ancients would call dragons serpents. It's only the northern hemisphere would call them dragons, because only the northern hemisphere would experience enough energy in a dragon to actually get burnt with the breath of a dragon. This is where the legends come on, fire-breathing dragons. You generally don't get fire-breathing serpents in South America, Australia, China and so on. It's only in the higher latitudes of the northern hemisphere. But dragon bodies, we have our bodies. We saw some pictures earlier of our human body with its electromagnetic field, its nervous system, and its magnetic fields and its electrical fields. The dragon's bodies are cylinder shaped, serpent shaped, and they're made with counter-rotational electric and magnetic fields. So if you think of the cardboard inside a toilet roll, cardboard tubes inside each other, counter-rotational. So the outside one will rotate that way, the next one in the layer will rotate that way, the next one inside will rotate that way, and so on. And these counter-rotational tubes make up the serpent's body, the dragon's body. Now those bodies are electric and magnetic. So you have, as I've shown you earlier with the Earth and with the human, you have an electrical field and a magnetic field, electrical field, magnetic field, with each rotational tube. So there'd be at least 3 fields with each counterclockwise tube of the body. I've got some science have found this out recently. This is the dragon's body sliced sideways like a salami. The core consciousness, and then you've got these counterclockwise electrical and magnetic fields. Rotation. This is the bulk of it. This is its body. This is how its body is constructed. It's a plasma. Held in place by the electrical and magnetic fields. And what you have here, this comes from the electrical universe theories, these images. These are voltages. And they in laboratory experiments, they found that when they create plasma, tubes like this, then a voltage is created in between each. There's a different voltage created in between each different counterclockwise tube. This is the body of a dragon. I'm not going to go too much into science because we want to get to the bit we like, which is the spiritual bit where we can talk to them. But dragons are real. And although science isn't recognising them as dragons, and certainly don't call them dragons, or serpents, they exist. The nearest you get to it, if you Google it, is plasma. There's some books called The Plasma Universe, made by plasma scientists, and you can find all this information in those. Now, these are actually called Birkeland fields. Scientists have named the tubes, the energy fields, as Birkeland fields, after back in the 1920s. The centre of the dragon, where its consciousness is, we have these different voltage levels coming out. And the voltage sorts atoms. And they discovered that the centre of the dragon, this is crudely depicting the rotational magnetic fields, these lines flowing in one direction. But each of these distributes the various elements of the universe. And there's evidence to show that the dragons create, well, I know they create because I've asked them, but science evidence shows that they create the atoms as well by fusing together the elements, the quanta to create the atoms. And the atoms are all down to the charge that they contain. So you have these tubes, these counterclockwise tubes, and these can extend usually between 12 and 20, but on Earth this is, and occasionally 32 counterclockwise tubes. And each one would have a different voltage, different charge, electrical charge, and each one will sort an element containing the preponderance of elements, that element inside it. These are Hubble photographs of dragons in space. Dragons flow across the Earth, flow through the universe, male and female dragons, and they're always in pairs. and they stay close together, but when we say close, you'll find them together. On the Earth here, you'll find them maybe 3 or 4 miles apart, and then they'll come together, and then they'll cross, and they usually shoot off another mile, 2 miles, 3 miles apart. People call them ley lines. Some people call them ley lines. And they'll flow across the Earth, and then they'll come and cross again. In its rotational pattern. And this is dragons photographed in space by Hubble. This is the line drawing, of course. A bit crude, again showing the electromagnetic fields that each dragon creates. Anything up to 32 tubes inside, rotational tubes inside each other. And when they come together, they fuse and create a large one. On Earth, of course, these are the sacred places on Earth. Glastonbury and so on, where the dragons cross. Stonehenge, Avebury. Other places as well, loads of places on Earth. This is science. We'll move onwards on in a minute. Science, just don't get glazed over. But dragons are real, and it's important to accept that dragons are real, because it becomes easier to communicate with them. There's no airy-fairy story that you read in a book. These are real, living, conscious creatures. 2 dragons crossing creates this pattern. Dragons that are fairly close but not crossing create this magnetic pattern. These patterns are gathered by NASA and European Space Agency with their satellites and their probes from other galaxies, these types of images, these magnetic fields. They can't detect the electrical fields, so the equipment isn't capable of doing that from such a great distance, but they can detect the magnetic fields. Although radio telescopes can actually detect the static caused by electrical fields, they can't see the electrical fields. Otherwise we would get better proof of this sort of thing. So scientists are calling these dragons, male and female, Birkeland current filaments, cosmic Birkeland current filaments in this instance. Plasma density is when the dragons cross. So the science is finding these things, and they've given them scientific names. Of course, science don't speak to dragons yet. The Celts knew them though. You know, there's a lot of discussion about what are these patterns, what were they for, why did the Celts create these shapes and patterns, and why did they revere them? And of course this pattern as well looks very similar to this one. Again, this is another galaxy that NASA has gathered the data for its magnetic fields, and now they're beginning to see these jets coming out the centre of each galaxy. There is theories that there's a black hole in the centre, and the black hole must be squirting out stuff it's gathered in through the equator. But of course they change their theory every couple of years when they get new data. So people begin to point things at them and say, get it right, guys. Actually,
So what is it?
These are dragons.
Oh, okay.
But of course it's dragons coming into the galactic centre. And recently, in the last 2 years, NASA's identified through magnetic field projections that the jets, certainly that they're now admitting that the outside of the jet is spiral inwards. They can't see beyond the first layer of the dragon. They can only see the outer layer, the skin. They can't see the structure. But even this, you can see they've allowed a slight spiral in there. They thought it was spiraling outwards, but it's actually spiraling inwards. Because dragons has created everything in the universe. Every solid planetary object, solar object, galactic object, being created by these dragons. Some Another picture of Nick from NASA. Magnetic field structures from a galaxy far, far away. The twin dragons of the galaxy. Here's another dragon. You can see the spiral in nature. A bit better up here. Now dragons, how dragons create stars and planets, and in the same way galaxies. This is 2,000 light years long. It's another dragon. Now dragons are normally in the invisible mode. Dragons are invisible. Legend and mythology, they're invisible, and you only tend to see them when they breathe in fire. That's the old myth. Well, that's true actually. Dragons which are plasma bodies, we're physical bodies, they're plasma bodies. Unless there's a lot of energy being hitting it or being used at that point in time, they're dark, they're invisible. But when they're doing something, or when there's external energy that's hitting their bodies, as the solar flares come from the sun, for example, we see the northern lights. The excitement of the plasma atoms and so on, then they become visible as they sparkle with this extra energy that the sun is thrown at them.
Okay, quick. The Northern Lights, why is it, you said something at the beginning, I didn't quite catch it, why is it they only appear up in the Scandinavia area?
Because the Earth's magnetic field, the consciousness of the Earth's magnetic field, channels the dragons to the poles.
Okay. So they get them in the South Pole?
Well, the dragons come together, and then the planet forms around it, or sun forms around it. So the dragons that are coming from outer space, they generally come in at the poles. I know that dragons also come in from the sides as well on occasion. But let's go through this. I'll answer all your questions at the end, because there's quite a bit to go through. But if you are stumped by what I say, do shout, and I'll try and clarify it before moving on. This comes from the NASA website. These are dragons. They call them their equipment as measure beams. These are high.
I thought this is small.
This is dragons.
Oh, no.
Not quite on the spiritual level yet. This is the sun. And this is NASA are calling these lines magnetic ropes. If you Google NASA magnetic ropes, you'll get these images. This is the sun, and they're capturing they're dragons, I've asked, coming out of the poles, and they're not always out of the pole. You can see this one, they captured this one coming out across where the UK would be if we were in the sun, at the side there. But they're coming in and out. But these are coming out of the sun, and these go to every planet in our solar system. They connect the sun to every planet in our solar system. This is the Earth. Wow. There's the Earth. These are the dragons coming into the Earth. Yeah. This is on the NASA website. Google NASA and magnetic ropes. Again, their equipment can only see the outer layer, the outer skin of the dragon. So they don't know what they are. This is about 4 years old. We started taking these in the last 4 years. This one was captured in March last year.
So what are the different colours?
Different frequencies, different voltages. Well, I said different voltages, different frequencies. Let me stick to the frequencies, because that's what NASA say. That's why they're coloured, because they detect different frequencies in the emanations, the energy that's emitted by these ropes. South Pole, North Pole. The inner dragons that are coming into the Earth, most of them from the sun, some of them from the other planets as well, because we backfeed each other. So the Earth is connects, it sends its own dragons. The Earth has got dragons, of course. Sends its own dragons to Mars, Jupiter and Saturn, and they send their dragons here as well. We're all connected with dragons. It ties, any of you who studied ancient medieval readings or pre-medieval readings will sort of begin to see this stuff slotting into what's being written. Dragons. More pictures, again of the Earth. Dragons. Saturn. This is again from the NASA website. This is what one of their probes has come from Saturn. Captures from Saturn. It wasn't looking at that pole. It was looking at this pole. It's captured these dragons. Magnetic ropes, they call them. The dragons. Right. This is two dragons birthing a star. This is the Hubble telescope photograph. Now, originally, when Hubble took this, NASA said, "Oh, it's a supernova, bang in all directions." And then everyone said, "Well, if it's gone bang in all directions, why is it shaped like this?" This is about 12 years old, this photo. But you can see this is a light observation. This isn't using equipment detecting magnetism, as we saw here. So you can't see. This is a telescope visually, like our eye is looking, and you can just see, if you look carefully, different layers.